I'm not gonna lie. I'm checking out my new haircut on the screen. There's a screen for y'all, for those of y'all that don't know, and I'm looking at my new haircut. Not now, Chief. I'm in the fucking zone. You know what this is? What does he say?
It's my new fucking haircut.
It's my new fucking haircut. Dude, I haven't had a haircut since January 20th. I got it cut before the turnaround.
I just haven't heard anybody.
I'm usually like a 3-week tops guy. I can tell that you're not, Gearen. Yeah. Every 3 weeks he combs his.
There you go.
Bi-monthly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That grows pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I got off last night was my last night.
It's looking good too.
I haven't been to bed. I worked about 60 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Got off, did some chores around the house, got a haircut, came here.
Gave him the energy he needed.
Yep.
Now we're getting ready to record.
Yeah, now we already are. I see it right there.
This is the pre-music. I guess we'll get it. Guess we'll get it going.
There we go.
You know, since it's been going for a minute and 16, 17.
Been rocking and rolling the whole
That's my
time.
favorite part about the intros. Is,
So, let's-
It's really random.
Let's not forget that Sean went to the gym and back in like 37 seconds.
Never a dull day. Never a dull day.
Sorry, Sean.
bro.
Catch your breath, man.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good now. I'm good. I'm back. We're recording. We got SD cards and everything, so we're rocking and rolling.
We got a
now.
special guest in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Joe Minsel.
Yeah, I know. Got all the goods today.
Hey, man, my brain's
Recovering.
well, yeah. So you know how like whenever you get like laser focused in on something, especially if it's like negative, so like being on this turnaround for so long has been taxing. I'm not saying that I had a negative mindset. It was just something that has really eaten up my life and my time. And it's, you know, as time goes on, it starts to bother you more and more, and it kind of starts to get into your head. Anyhow, when whatever it is gets resolved, how your mind like clears up and you can see things like when the negativity or the whatever's bothering you fades out and you can see all this, like your brain starts funcking normally again. I guess that's what's going on in my head. So so right now it's actually on hyperdrive. Yeah. So it's on hyperdrive right now, which is not functioning properly. I have to come down to the middle. So this is like,
I mean, we can keep it on hyperdrive for about another 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's
Stay focused, clicked in.
Yeah.
Jared's like, please,
ever watch,
God, please shut the fuck up.
Do you feel like Bradley Cooper on Limitless?
Hey, listen, he's handsome. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Bro, you're handsome. You got your new haircut. And you're clicked in.
Not now, Chief. I'm in the zone.
I'm in the zone.
I'm in my fucking zone. All right. That's enough banter.
What did he say? Banshee bomb. What did he say? What was the drink? Vegas bombs. Vegas bombs.
Vegas bombs.
Yeah, Vegas bombs.
And he had a whole case of water on his shoulder.
Yeah, he walks in, he kicks the door down to the
There you
gym.
go, there you go.
Remember that?
Yep.
And the guy's like, isn't he telling him like he has to like bad gin or whatever?
yeah.
Not now, Chief. I'm in the fucking zone.
Not now, Chief.
And he has a case of water on his shoulder.
Oh, man, I feel like it's probably been a solid 10 years since I even watched
One of the
that
greatest
video.
videos of all time.
Yep.
Oh,
Remember his
man.
"Do You Even Lift" video?
Oh, yeah. There was a bunch of those. That was like a theme.
He asked everybody if they even lifted, except for the guy who trains in a park. Yeah, you don't fuck with that guy. Yeah. All right, guys. All right.
That reminds me of working out at LA Fitness. You remember Homie Guy?
I do remember Homie Guy. Homie Guy still works out there.
Doesn't surprise me.
So there's a guy I work with named Emmett who trains at LA Fitness.
Okay.
And recently, like within the past couple of months, somehow we got on the topic of gyms and people. And he's like, dude, there's this guy at my gym that always wears 2 different shoes. And he's doing like weird, crazy handstands and like, you know, like hanging upside down, doing crunches and stuff. We call him Homie Guy. Do you remember those little plastic action figures you used to get out of the quarter machines and they were called homies?
Yep.
We thought that guy kind of dressed like those dudes.
Yeah, he had Superman belt buckle.
He had a Superman belt buckle.
Yeah.
He had a white tank top, basketball shorts, and non-matching shoes and sunglasses.
Yeah.
And we were like, it's Homie Guy. Because he would do like backflips and hang upside down and do all kind of crazy stuff at the gym.
Yeah, we call those the Batman crunches.
Yeah, whatever you like.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, hey, whatever you like, man, makes him happy. So I'm glad that he's happy. Homie guy, shout out. He probably watches.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. He probably needs some junk removed.
Yeah.
He probably needs some content made. He probably needs some personal training. You know,
We can help him out.
Yep.
he needs to come on the show. Homie guy, hit us up. Phil at otgfitness.com.
Yeah,
All right?
straight from the Bat Cave.
Straight from the back cave. Anyhow, for the special guests, well, the
We got one special guest.
well, no, for the special listeners that are tuning in to listen to the special guest, the people who are on YouTube can see we have somebody, but the people just listening to podcast platform have no idea that he's here because we're just talking out of our ass and he doesn't have a chance to talk. So we got a special guest today. He is a local business owner and a friend of OTG. His name is Gearen, and I'm not going to go into all the details because he knows them much better than I do. So Jared, give us a little bit about who you are, where did you come from, what do you do now, and how'd you get there? Let's dive right into it.
Simple enough. My name's
Don't tell me
Gearen.
not now, Chief.
Yeah,
Now, Chief, I'm in the fucking zone.
All right, start over. Your name's Jared. Go ahead.
Yep. Jared Gearen.
Jared Gearen?
Yep.
How do you spell Gearen?
Gearen.
Okay. Gearen. Okay. Gearen. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. My grandparents are crazy, so they're probably saying it wrong. But yeah, I grew up in Pearland.
Pearland, Texas?
Yep. And then I live over.
Were you an
in
Oiler?
Santa Fe now. No, I went to school in Houston.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. I live in Santa Fe now. Moved last year from Seabrook.
Okay. So
yeah.
you were right down the street. Well, you're still kind of right down the street.
Yep.
I mean, Santa Fe's not that far.
No, it's not far. Yeah, I own Coastal Junk Removal and Nahoa Threads.
Nahoa Threads.
Yep.
How do you spell Nahoa?
Nahoa. Yeah.
Nahoa Threads.
Yep.
So
Got
because
one on right now.
people are going to go, wait, what did he say?
Yep.
So Coastal Junk Removal and Nahoa Threads. So my guy Jared is a serial entrepreneur.
Working on
Is that what would you consider yourself a serial entrepreneur?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to do multiple things, and
Yep.
you're probably not stopping anytime soon.
Nope.
So, which one came first, Nahoa Threads or
Coastal?
Let's start there.
All right.
So, so you graduate high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go from there.
High school. Go straight in the Air Force.
Oh wow!
I was
Hey,
in for
thank you for your
8 years.
service.
Oh, thank you.
8 years.
8 years.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I did.
We got a veteran, folks.
I was security forces, which is, I mean, it falls under military police. I didn't really do any police work. I did
Right.
nuclear security for my first 4 years,
Wow. Okay.
and then cross trained to become a dog handler. So I worked with dogs. Yeah, so I did that.
Like police dog, like canine, like
yeah, so I worked bomb dogs.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
bomb sniffing dogs,
Mhm.
which is it's called a patrol explosive detector dog, PED.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was stationed in Missouri for my first 4 years. Went K9.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
What part of Missouri?
It was Knob Noster. It's like between Kansas City and St. Louis is the best way to describe it.
Uh-huh.
But it's a small little, maybe 3,000 person.
You lived
town.
there for how long?
4 years.
Ooh, okay.
It was rough. Rough.
Okay. Rough.
Yep. So then,
So you're in the Air Force, you're training dogs, you're doing security / military police style stuff for 8 years.
Yep. And then,
Okay. And you go, all right, man, I'm out of here.
Yep. Get out. I was going to promote out of being a dog handler.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked doing that at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I might as well just get out now
Yeah.
and then go live where I want to. I was sick of living. So like my second base, I was outside of Dallas, which
Missouri.
sucked. I like the ocean. I like to be by water.
Yeah. I'm a beach guy for sure.
Yep. So then I get out. I started working, like doing lineman stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Electrical work?
Yep. Like right away. And then worked for a pipeline and then got on plants.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of everybody's backstory around here.
Right.
Go
Yeah.
work at a
Greater
plant,
Houston area, oil's going to touch you.
Yep. Dad was an operator. So I knew it was a good job. So I went there.
Mhm. So you're just kind of trying to find it.
Yeah.
As you get out of the military and you're trying to find something.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
I'm finding something.
Yep.
So it sounds like though you grew a career pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It grew it into a lucrative career pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then you decided it wasn't for you.
Yep.
So
Yeah, exactly.
So you're working at the refinery, and did you just, you said something a minute ago, you got your first turnaround check.
Yep.
And you went and bought your first trailer.
Yep. Bought a trailer, formed an LLC, started doing junk removal.
So how, real quick, where did the idea, what gave you the interest, the idea that that could be something you might like to do or something that could pay you well?
The illegal dumping in Seabrook.
Okay.
So if you go down Toddville Road, I forget what the cutoff, I think it's Myers.
That 4-way intersection right there. Yeah.
So there's people dump stuff all the time.
Yep.
So I would always go to the park on Toddville, take my kids out there. And I just hated seeing it. I hated seeing crap on the side of the road.
That's a cool story.
Yeah. So then I'd kind of looked at like, people that remove that stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, there's like actual companies that do that. Like, that's wild.
Come pick up junk of any kind.
Yep. And I didn't know that was even a thing. So then I was like, I saw some franchise opportunities popped up on, Facebook.
Of course, your phone's listening to you.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It knows what we're doing.
It was that
I'm going to have
quick.
some
it was like
some
the next
Coastal
day.
Junk Removal ads.
So then, I talked to some franchises about doing it, and
you were thinking about buying a franchise,
and then the buy-in was just crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So
They usually are.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll just start my own.
There you go.
So then that's what I did. Started it with just my truck and trailer. And then, so I had a landscape trailer first. I ran that for maybe like 7 months.
Was it just you?
It was me and then my nephew.
So y'all, two guys were showing up and just whatever you needed to get rid of was going on the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you say landscape, what do you mean?
So it was pretty much just a utility trailer with 4-foot walls.
Okay.
Like a low boy, regular low boy trailer, single axle or
it was dual axle,
double axle, and it had 4 foot. Could you take the sides on and off?
Nope.
Oh, they were fixed.
Yeah, they were fixed.
So y'all had to like kind of like Kobe stuff in there.
Yeah, and it had a ramp in the back for like heavy stuff.
Because when you say, I'm just thinking like, so you're just moving dirt around, or it's still junk?
Yeah, it was still junk. It was just that was the cheapest trailer, and because like dump trailers, man, at the time were like $7,000, and I was like, I'm not gonna pay that much. And then I learned real quick with the landscape trailer, you're loading and unloading by hand, and that sucks. So then I started working to get a dump trailer, bought a dump trailer, I still had my same truck, ran that for about a year, and then I bought the dump truck that I have, and then I've got a roll-off trailer.
So I'm when you say you have to load and unload, so I guess currently with the trucks you have now, the dumping is all automatic.
So-
There's no manual dumping.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's all button.
Yeah.
You load it by hand and then
Unload it by button.
and then unload it by button.
Yep.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
we try to
that's cool.
donate what we can, but the donation centers are around here after
Right.
The pandemic were just crazy on stuff they would take.
But they're just real picky, or what?
Yeah, real picky, and a lot of them just had too much
Right.
because people would just drop stuff off, and then
Yeah.
it's more difficult now than it was to donate stuff. And then like any metal, we recycle that.
We're scrapping.
Oh, nice. You
Okay.
scrap it and make a little bit on that
That's
too.
a good deal. So you're working at the plant. You get this idea because you're taking your kids to the park. There's junk out there, and you're like, nah, this got to go.
Yep.
You research the idea, you get into it, or you save up you get a big check, you buy a trailer.
Yep.
And you just start doing it like when you're not at work.
Before, pretty much
So
before.
How long
after
did that
work.
last? Part time. How long did you do it part time?
3 years. And
Okay.
then, like it got to the point. So I went full time last April 18th.
So almost right on a
last
year now.
Yep.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I was working 12-hour shifts, rotating days and nights.
Mm-hmm. You're working at
And-
DuPont or?
It was 4 on, 4 off, but really it was most of the time 6 on,
Yeah.
day and a half off
Yeah.
with overtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would get up, I'd work all night, get home at 4 or 5, take a shower, go to sleep for 3 hours, get up, start working before.
Nah,
I go
man,
to
you
work.
don't have time for another job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not possible. Nah, man, there's no time.
Yep.
So
And
Nah, you can't do that.
yeah, I was living on no sleep, and then I did that for 3 years, and then I just got to the point where I was.
So
like,
was
I
it
can't do
a
both.
hey, I am making enough money where I'm comfortable quitting, or I could make enough money where I'm comfortable quitting, or I don't want to be at the plant anymore, or both? What was going
It was
on?
I could because I was
You were
turning
like,
down a lot of work
okay,
Mhm.
okay.
because I was.
So you're like,
at
man.
work. Yeah.
So you start doing the numbers, and you're like, if I didn't work these 12 hours at the plant, I could make that money and then some doing these jobs.
The opportunity cost was
exactly
getting too high.
Yeah.
They
got to the point,
they weren't paying you enough for your time at the plant.
I was working pretty regularly, like 17, 18-hour days between junk removal and working at the plant.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't do both. Like, I know I'll never get the junk removal where I want to get it if I'm still here. So
How did you get your customers back then?
Facebook, Google Ads.
Oh, Google Ads. Yeah, cool.
Instagram, stuff like that. Google Ads is good, but man, there's so many franchises around here that just kill.
Yeah, we do a lot of Google Ads too at the gym, but we've kind of grown.
I do see a lot of those ads. I'm not going to name any of the other companies.
I never see them, to be honest, but maybe it's.
I see them. I can name two right now that aren't his company. But anyway,
no, I don't really know.
I've never even used a junker. I've done my own junk removal, and I know where these guys' names are.
That's probably why you've seen them. Like, I've never really used. I actually used Jared a few weeks ago when we moved into here, and it was a. Something I never really thought about. Same like last week when we talked to Alex, he's talking about how moving is such a stressful situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And kind of that's what I was going through. I was, obviously you have to keep doing what you got to do at work and, whatever it is that needs to be done responsibility wise, while you also have to get all this stuff moved. And my girlfriend really kind of wanted to do almost like a fresh start kind of thing. And I was like, all right, well, whatever you don't want, let's just get it in the garage. And we'll toss it out. Well, this pile got bigger.
Yeah. She didn't want anything.
And nothing. We got here and I couldn't cook because we didn't have any utensils.
You know what? We should have kept it that way so Kevin couldn't have cooked.
That would have been a great strategy. But yeah, this pile starts getting bigger and bigger, and next thing you know, I'm like, man, this is going to take me all day.
Better call Jared.
Yeah, so I did. And we've been following each other on Instagram for a while. And I don't know how did you come across us? Do you know?
I drove past it.
Okay.
On Highway 3.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Saw the sign.
We'll look them up. Yeah. I was like,
Saw
look them up on
sign.
Instagram.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then the same thing with the coffee truck. And then he was on the podcast and I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Nice,
okay.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. Cause Jared was, kind of interacting with a lot of our content and stuff. And then so we kind of,
I do see that. I see that pretty often. So
yeah, we were just kind of going, oh, no doubt.
Seen the pipes on this guy?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, because there was no way he had time while he had
bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, we connected on Instagram and I was like, you know what? This guy, I see his posts about, dumpster bags and all this various things. Is like, man, I don't really want that. What I'd rather have is just somebody back up here and get all this. And man, it was just, and he did, shows up, communicated very well we texted a little bit. I called you, sent you pictures. The process was really easy. He gave me an estimate on what it would cost, and shows up, very easy process. Came over here, picked up, how when you move, you have a bunch of like cardboard boxes from all this stuff, right? The chairs come in boxes, your utensils come in boxes, your dishware comes in boxes,
If you order from Amazon, your box comes in a box.
Yeah, exactly.
Which also comes in a bag.
So we had all this stuff over here. So he comes over and grabs this stuff too. And it's very stress relieving, service. That you really don't think much of until you experience
disposing of stuff's a pain in the ass. So
it is.
I own a lot of real estate. I say a lot. Depends on who you ask. I have done a lot of renovation projects. The debris, the sheetrock and the wood. And man, getting rid of that is a pain in the ass.
It is. Yeah.
I can almost understand why I wouldn't do it, but somebody would want to dump it on the side of Toddville Road because it's such a pain in the ass.
It really is a pain.
I mean, it's kind of genius that you're like, okay, I spotted this problem and you made yourself aware of how to do it properly, the proper way to, everything from effectively load the stuff in the trailer to where you're going to take it, what that site will allow you to dump there, how much it's going to cost you to dump it there. What are you going to need? You're going to need a water bill. You're going to need your driver's license to get into the biosphere or whatever. Right. So you did your research and you said, okay, I'm going to take the guesswork out of it for these people.
Yep.
And, but I want to back up a little bit. Something's been on my mind. There's going to be a lot of takeaways and there's probably a lot that I've missed. So Jared, you were at a crossroad. You were working at the plant and you were also working for yourself, and you had to roll the dice.
Yep.
But you bet on yourself. And I like that. You said, hey, I'm going to have to make a decision here. You're at a fork in the road. Am I betting on me or am I betting on this refinery?
Yep.
And you said, nah, I'm betting on me. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. And I want to look at the camera and tell people to bet on themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with that. And I'd like to, another point about that. You said it was right out a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right out a year ago, people thought the economy was crazy. The stock market was crashing or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to say. It's got to be a crazy time to make a decision like
What
that.
a time,
What's going through your head at a time like that?
I mean, it had to be done because, man, it was too much to do both.
No plan B.
Long term, yeah.
He says it so simply. It had to be done.
Yep, had to be done.
My guy identifies the problem, the solution, and goes, okay, I have to do that.
It's got to be done.
Yeah.
Easy.
Another
All right.
takeaway.
Yeah. I like that, man.
Make your decision, folks.
Yeah.
So, your year in now seems like the business it's supporting you, your wife,
Mm-hmm.
your children, your lifestyle, and so forth. That's like Phil said, or going all in on a business at such a pivotal time. My hat is off to you for that. Let's talk a little bit about the, not done with Costal, but when does the clothing line come to fruition?
Yeah. How does that roll?
How does that, so you're hauling junk.
Yep.
You're disposing of, you're doing all this stuff. You're buying dump trucks and dump trailers and probably likely hiring people and so forth. How does a clothing line work its way into the
reach? It was all about the reach with it because so with Costal, I donate to different organizations throughout the year. Just depends on what time it is. But I can only do so much locally. So clothing was an idea or a concept to really broaden donations for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love donating to different organizations, stuff like that. And that was a way, like I sold a shirt to people that I don't even know in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So I do 4% right now of Nahoa goes to Reverent Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
which is a veteran organization. They have like silky hikes, which silkies are the real short shorts that you PT in the military. They're just kind of goofy.
Yeah.
So they do these hikes like all over the country. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty intense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But the whole purpose behind it is, to end veteran suicide, which is a huge, a huge
problem
issue. Yeah. It was just crazy how like I got linked up with them because when we first started, we were donating to wildlife, like sea life rescue. And, I was passionate about that.
Sure.
But man, like when I linked up with the Reverent Warriors, I mean, it was just like green light.
So it was born out of, you wanted to find a way to give them more.
Yep.
And so you're like, how can I make some money? You're brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make some clothes.
Yep.
Okay.
So it was like, I wanted awesome apparel, like the designs and stuff I come up with.
Good quality material. All
great
that stuff.
quality. Yeah. I want it to be like,
You do
very
your own
comfortable.
designs.
Yep.
Okay.
So most of them. So we did buy like a design package.
Do you draw, paint? Do you vector?
I do some vector and then some of them I just draw.
Okay.
So
you drew this pineapple
no,
guy?
not that one.
Oh,
so
man.
yeah, that one I purchased.
Okay.
This one I came up with.
Okay.
So we actually collabed with Rich O'Toole, the country singer out of Houston.
I was about to say, I heard that name before, but it's been a while.
So I reached out to him and to see if he wanted some shirts because I've been listening to him for a while. He's local. And he was like, oh yeah, for sure. And then like a week later, he hit me up. I met him down at Jackie's Brick House when he was singing one night. And he was like, hey, let's collab on a shirt. So we did this one together a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Cool deal.
Brand new.
But yeah, so I just wanted to really just broaden like what I could give back. And it was difficult to do that locally because I'm only, getting jobs here. I'm not getting jobs in Pennsylvania.
Right. Or all.
Where I can sell shirts and
Thank
stuff
God
like that.
you're not getting jobs in Pennsylvania.
It'd be a far drive.
Well, then you'd have to go to Pennsylvania.
What does Nahoa mean?
So it's a Hawaiian word for bold and defiant.
Bold and defiant.
Yep.
Wow.
I like that.
I would consider myself not defiant, actually, but
Depends on who you ask.
yeah, I guess.
It's all relative, right? If you ask the high school teachers, we're all in this room are defiant.
That's true.
You know,
for sure.
Ask Sean's counselor.
Because, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the exact person. So Sean abides by all the laws and follows the rules in society. But if you ask his counselor, he's a hellion.
Yeah.
He's out here with his
I hate rules,
with his
especially speeding rules.
with his non-real job and so forth.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't speed to the gym to get this SD card. I know that
I
much.
definitely didn't blow past the stop sign at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So it's bold and defiant.
Mm-hmm.
Did you is it something that did you come up with the term and then you wanted to find a word that matched it?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
because I was thinking like, I don't know, I do want to be like defiant apparel.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's how I came up with it.
And then you started just making designs, printing them on shirts.
Yep.
Yeah. I really like the idea of like how to spread past your local. Cause it might like to us, like OTG is definitely a local thing, but
Right.
a big thing for me, and like me and Sean talk about this a lot for as far as the content is concerned. And one major thing with this podcast is one of my major goals is to make sure that Only the Greatest isn't just some gym in Webster.
Right.
It's like, how do we go beyond and how do we become more? Now, don't get me wrong. I want to support our local community. And I think that's really important. I love supporting local business. That's why, obviously we're talking right now. Right.
Yep.
But how do we reach an audience that's bigger than our neighbor? Like, how do we really change the world and how do we really touch more people? And that's kind of what we want to do with this and allow us
Cold
to continue
calls.
to grow. Oh yeah. Just call people that don't want your business.
I'm just talking trash.
That's such a good idea.
Dude, we should start cold calling people. Just call numbers and be like, ask them if they need personal training.
Hey man, you need to work out.
Yeah.
Hey, you need to lose some weight.
Who are you? Are you my son?
I'll bet you're sitting on your couch right now.
Yeah.
When you could be in this gym getting after it.
Oh man.
It's personal now.
That's one thing we don't do. Is, like we like to work with people that want to work with us.
Right.
And I don't know what, I'm sure maybe your opinion's
I'm just
similar,
talking
but-
trash.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah. Especially with like, so you said, going back to the Google ads thing, a lot of people just inquire online and then you give them a call, kind of like, because the way that we connected was a little different, right?
Yeah.
But,
So sometimes people will text. That's kind of the easiest way now.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like the franchises, there's a couple of them in Houston that are paying 20 grand a month or more
Yeah, I
on
know.
Google ads. And like, I can't compete with
Yeah.
that.
Same with us,
Not yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
You're coming for them, though.
Like our business model is kind of unique in the fact that people that want just like a gym membership, we actually don't do that. We only work with people that are interested in a personal training situation.
Oh, okay.
And then they get a free gym membership along with that, but you have to do personal training. So from an advertising perspective, we kind of can compete with the bigger guys because they're searching for people that just want gym memberships, right? But we don't.
You got a different target.
Yeah, we have a different target. So we can kind of get in there and maneuver in the background because we can target like people for personal training, not necessarily for gym. But I'm pretty familiar with the Google ad space and how these guys with big budgets can just drive up the cost per click type of situations.
it's crazy.
And it you can't keep up.
Yep.
But luckily now, and I'm sure like your business is only a year old, but a big thing for us is we don't even have to spend that much on Google anymore because organically,
Right.
like when you're looking for personal training in the area, boom, we're right there we still pay for advertising, but a lot of times it's not even necessary. It just shows up in the little 3-pack, which I'm assuming is like I left you a Google review. And so those reviews will, eventually get up there. You don't have to spend as much.
Yeah. So, I think it was 6 months ago, I had to restart my Google because my other one got suspended and then they wouldn't reactivate it, but they wouldn't tell me why it got suspended. They just kept saying that I was violating community guidelines.
You were defiant.
Yeah.
You were bold and defiant.
Like it was nothing but just junk removal. That was all. If it would have been my Facebook, I would have understood them blocking that or something.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah,
right.
Google, I was like, man, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
So I had to start over. I had like 100 reviews and stuff on there. And yeah, I just completely wiped out. And that sucked.
That's
that is rough.
But yeah, like, so what I started doing was I looked where the big guys were weak, which was Instagram, Facebook, And then that's where I started hammering.
Customer service.
Yep. And then, definitely customer service. So yeah, it started out with like, just removing junk. And then, man, it really just grew, like, especially like in my mind, is like, we're saving people time, hassle. And it really just kind of became a purpose, man. Just
relieves people's stress and anxiety.
Yep.
And provide, I mean, people, it can be overwhelming to have a garage or a yard or a porch full of crap and you need it gone. And it's not even like me. It's not necessarily that I'm too lazy to load it or I don't have anywhere to take it.
Yeah.
I don't have the proper equipment. I don't have dump trailers and I don't have multiple guys, not as strong as somebody like you. I don't even train yet until tomorrow morning because I want to let y'all know that this comeback is personal. It's on. But anyway, that's a different topic. Go ahead, Sean.
I did have a couple of questions. You were talking about like the early beginnings of Coastal Junk Removal. So how was those first few jobs? I think that's always like an interesting take.
So walk us through like your first, especially if it's an awkward one.
There's got to be a bad experience in there.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure.
Weird.
Yep.
So go ahead.
First job was a dinghy, like just a small boat from a kayak rental.
How did this
place.
person figure out who you were? Google ad or?
I think it was Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, because I started doing like I still post on Facebook groups every day. Yeah, every single day I post twice.
Okay.
On that, and then I try to post 2 or 3 times on Instagram. But yeah, they had found me on I think Facebook, and it was a dinghy. It was like I don't know, maybe like 12 foot, and then 2 kayak trailers. And I was like, oh yeah, we can do it. For sure. I got no clue how to do it. When we get there and this thing's
figure it out.
Yeah, it's in the water. So I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. Like I got to pull this boat out of the water. I mean, we figured it out. But yeah, I mean, as far as,
so you show up, there's a boat in the water and you're like, yeah,
all the time.
Yeah. I'm going to throw it. In fact, I have another boat on the truck right now that I just
my third boat.
This is my third boat.
We do this every day.
Might as well be coastal boat removal.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just all, fake confidence, man. At the beginning, I mean, to be honest with y'all,
I don't know if the confidence is fake though.
Now it's real confidence that you're confident enough in yourself to know that when you show up, you're going to be able to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. So it's real confidence.
Yeah.
So how did y'all tackle getting the boat into because y'all still had that other trailer at the time too.
So we, I mean, it was all manual labor, lifted it up. I think I ended up like knee deep in the water, knee deep in the water at some point, pulling it up on the dock. And then, we pulled it to the trailer and then the kayak trailers. I mean, we just,
I figured you just took the harness from the gym, put it around the waist, hooked it on the front of the boat.
Just strong man.
Just sank it in place. Just put some holes through it and let it sink.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
We removed it.
Where's my money?
It's gone.
I like that.
Man.
That's funny.
So where do you dump a dinghy? Do you just bring it
to that? I had to, I learned that the hard way.
Bring it to Todd.
Yeah, took it
drop
to
it off.
Where's the Toddville Road?
Sweet little place on Toddville.
Corner of East Meyer.
Took it to the dump and they're like, yeah, you can't bring it in one piece. Like you gotta, like it can only be in like 4-foot sections.
Yeah, cut it up.
So I went back home, cut it up like 4-foot sections.
What, like reciprocating saw?
Yep.
Did they measure your sections?
No, but it was,
I'd have been like, that thing's 4 foot.
Yep.
I'm telling you it's 4
I measured it twice, buddy.
Yeah, I cut it with a damn butter knife. That's all I had.
No, when they said it needed to be 4 foot, I'd have been like, that's 4 foot.
Yeah. And then I knew a dude that was a welder and fabricator in Seabrook. So I hit him up on those trailers and I was like, can you do anything with them? And he's like, man, I can make those into like little cargo trailers. So I took them over to him, gave them to him, and then he made trailers. I don't know if he used them or sold them or what.
Dang.
So you just gave them to him.
Yep.
Somebody paid you to remove them and you donated them to him.
And do you still do stuff like that now? Like if you have something, so instead of, I mean, what's your go-to? You have a dump source, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So like, well, if it's just, junk, something that we can't donate, which, if it's a couch that, your dog's been peeing on for 6 years, that's going to the dump. Mattresses, dump. But yeah, I mean, if it's good stuff, we'll donate it. Yeah.
How about broken exercise bikes like you picked up from my house?
That went to the scrapyard.
Okay.
Yeah, we
the metal
recycled
scrap.
those. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, we recycled those, and then they, I guess they melted down at some point,
Right?
And then
turn it into something else. This is probably your bike right here.
yeah,
They used it to make
a little upcycling.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, how much time do you spend on this? Like figuring out, okay, so you show up, we're just going to use my example. He showed, when Jared showed up to my house with your other guy, they probably had about a quarter of your truck full already with some other stuff. And then you take it probably took you guys less than an hour for sure. Probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes most. And when you left, you probably had about 3/4 of the truck full. All right. So now what happens?
So at that point, like, we'll sort it. So I have we have an office in Kemo until the end of this month. We don't really go there anymore.
Okay.
And then I've got a storage, like a big storage facility in Kemo. We'll go there and put metal there. If it's in the truck and we need space right then, if we've got some downtime, we'll just take metal straight to the recycling place from when we leave a job.
Okay.
But yeah, I try to dump the truck only when it's full, just because there's a minimum at the dump. So, but if it's something, good, we'll go sit it until we can donate it. Or if it's raining and we pick up a couch that can be donated, we'll run that to a storage place so it's out of the rain.
You sort it all out first. So you take the time to sort it all out to make sure that when you go to the dump, it's only trash that's getting dumped.
And then a lot of the times, like if we're doing like a full, like a house clean out or something, a tenant's been evicted, that stuff's usually just going straight to the dump. So we'll fill up, go straight to the dump.
I was going to ask about that. Do you get like contracted out by like apartment complexes or like duplex
we have
owners
before,
and
then like storage facilities too.
Gotcha.
Very nice.
For people that have just left and they couldn't sell it or something like that.
And if you ever get like a garage or a storage unit with a 68 Chevelle SS, let me know. Don't scrap that.
Don't junk it. Try not to.
Don't scrap that.
Don't get rid of it real
Don't
easy.
take it to Toddville.
Actually, take it to Toddville and I'll swing by there. Go check it out.
Let me know your drop off time.
Or like a 73 CUDA, something like that.
Something.
What is the I don't know. I mean, you might not know the answer to this, but like, what is the most valuable or coolest thing that you've ever picked up that somebody was considering junk, and then it's in your opinion maybe it's some type of gold mine for someone?
There's
for
somebody out there in the world that thinks everything in this room is junk.
Right.
Just depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think? In your opinion? Jared?
And just off the top of my head, we did a golf cart one time.
Dang, that'd be pretty
Like
cool.
a running golf cart? Like a good
It wasn't running. It just needed batteries. But yeah, so we got that, and I ended up giving it to a dude that fixed golf carts. I didn't know what was wrong with it. The people that we got it from, they're like, I don't know, it doesn't work. So I didn't really take the time to look too much into it. I gave it to him, and he called me and was like, man, it only needed batteries. Like, if you want it back. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, you can just keep it. Like, so I don't know if he sold it or.
That's amazing. I just think that it's crazy. I think that it's crazy. In my opinion, I was like, oh, junk removal. This guy shows up, gets my stuff, and just takes everything and just throws it away. So I'm kind of like, I'm still a little bit in shock right now that you actually take the time to try to do the right thing with each individual piece of quote unquote junk.
Right.
That somebody's throwing away. That's crazy. I mean, I like hearing that. I'm just kind of really surprised by it.
Yep.
What's one of the dirtiest jobs you've had?
Oh man,
that was my next question.
Okay.
That was my next question for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of
you
those.
showed up and you were like, oh,
dude, I can't watch
video.
I can't watch videos like that.
Going back to the
just
plant.
like just crazy. Yeah, there's like the roaches everywhere.
Back.
I'm like, nah, dude, I can't watch it.
Y'all need an operator? Like, I'll come back tonight.
I'm ready.
I'll come back tonight.
Man, we've done some like hoarder clean outs with like fridges that have been. Oh yeah. So actually, this wasn't a hoarder clean out, but this was a vacation home. Was the dirtiest for sure. It was a vacation home. They had been gone for like 4 months. Came back at some point. Their deep freezer in their garage had went out.
Oh no!
And so the vacation home was like over in Kemah, and so we pull up. And they're like, we just need the fridge gone. There's like 2 Ferraris in the garage. They're like, we don't care what it costs. And I was like, it cannot be that bad.
Yeah.
It was absolutely that bad.
You're able to smell it from Seabrook.
Man, it was bad. I'm talking a big.
I would have charged them one Ferrari.
I got both of them.
But I mean, if the deep freeze stays closed, it shouldn't be a big deal. Or what happened?
So it had been
4 months.
It had been 4 months since they had been to the house. So they don't know when it went out, but it was a deep freezer. I mean, the size of that table, and it was full of just
meat.
Oh, it probably smelled like a dead body.
Man, there was, I'm talking a good amount of blood in there.
Oh,
so, but because you opened it, I guess.
Man, it was raunchy.
Yeah.
Like, that was the nastiest job for sure.
Yeah. Do y'all wear, what kind of PPE do y'all wear for stuff like that?
Like the lady she just told me the deep freezer went out. When we get there, she gives us the whole story. It's been months. So I was like, oh, I got to go like buy stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a respirator already. And then, I went and bought some like, the Tyvek suits and the gloves and stuff like that and cleaned it.
Full hazmat mode.
You keep this stuff on deck now?
Yeah. I do now. Yeah. Well,
Keeps it under the seat.
Yeah. So that one was rough, man. Like, that was gross.
So what do you do with that? Like you just bring that and just dump it in the trash,
so we got to go to a dump that we can take raw garbage to. So like the one that we usually go to on Dixie Farm, you can't have raw stuff. Like that's all construction household items. The raw ones are a bit more expensive, so we have to charge more for stuff like that. Because they do it by weight, but there's a minimum for the weight. So,
so if you have like a small freezer, no go.
Yeah.
You got to get 2 of them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh man. What percentage of the jobs are like quote dirty jobs like versus, just easy?
I would say
like
maybe
clutter.
Like 30% are like
nasty,
gross. Yeah.
And then the rest of them's like a pile of lumber.
Yeah.
Let me get one more. Or go ahead.
So yesterday we did 2 truckloads of a dock. So the people in Seabrook had their dock got ruined by, I don't know, a storm. It was they had put the wrong kind of nails in it. That's what it was. The people that had built it had put the wrong kind of nails in it. So they rusted out. Wind made some waves over on the water, and it kind of just bent it, broke it all up. So they got a new dock, and we did 2 truckloads of just lumber yesterday morning.
Damn.
Good deal.
Give me another, like, I want to hear another example.
Let me get another dirty one.
I'm just.
So we did a clean out. I think it was in Lamarck or Texas City. It was over in that area.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And it was an eviction. And man, we found
also makes sense.
Yeah. Dude, there was like, man, I don't know what they were running, a brothel or something out of that place, man. But there was like, it was like a three or 4 bedroom. Every bedroom had like 2 mattresses on the floor that were just, I'm talking funky, man.
Whoa, that sounds weird.
Yeah. Like it was, that was a gross one, man.
Little tripod set up in the corner.
Yeah, it was
cigarette
exactly, man.
So the landlord calls you, and that's probably a great customer for you, huh?
Yep.
Recurring customer.
Oh yeah. So I think we've got, under 5 people that have only used us once.
Yeah.
So I try to keep the retention rate and reuse rate very high. We try to do everything as quick as possible, clean, not mess stuff up. Very interactive with customers. Yeah. Like if people are moving out of town or something, I don't expect them to use this again. But everybody that uses us locally, I want them to be so happy with the service that they use us every time.
Yeah, sure. I'm with it. No, I remember watching your guy, like as I was leaving, your guy was in there, he was like sweeping up the garage. You know what I mean? Pulled out the broom, made sure it was sweeped up, looking real nice and everything. Yep. So
we sweep up and then try to run a magnet over driveways and stuff if we're doing stuff that has nails.
So nails and all that.
So nails and screws and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Wow.
Do y'all have so I know you said you started with your nephew, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have more employees now?
Just 2 others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But I want to have 5 trucks on the road within the next few years.
Nice. And right now y'all have 2?
I've got 1 truck and then 1 roll-off trailer.
Okay.
So that'll be for like, somebody will call and be like, hey, they're tearing up a deck or something. Mm-hmm. That's a more affordable option than us coming out. We come up, drop the roll off, and come back in a week, pick it up.
Can you describe that roll off?
Yeah, so
big dumpster.
It's a big dumpster.
Oh, gotcha.
Big dumpster. Yeah. We've got 15 and 20 yard dumpsters, and then they're 14 foot long.
So in that situation, the customer is doing the labor.
Yep,
got it.
And then we drop it off, and then we've got the dumpster bags. That's new, so that's like a bagster, like a waste management bagster. Mm-hmm. So that was another thing I kind of noticed a gap in the market. So Waste Management only picks up 49% of the bagsters that they sell. So they sell them at Home Depot. Kima sells them, but they don't pick up in Seabrook. People from Seabrook go to the Home Depot and Kima. That's the closest one. So you buy that bag and it's $30 for the bag. And then people are thinking, I can fill it up and it's only $30. Well, it's not. When you call to pick it up, they have a huge crane truck. So it has to be curbside. If it's not curbside, they're not picking it up.
So now you have to
they load it up in the backyard.
Up to your.
So people will put it in their garage. They'll put it in their driveway.
That's how they get you.
Yep. And this Waste Management truck, I mean, they're not being malicious about it, but they can't fit that huge. It's a Class A truck.
Yeah.
It's like a big grapple truck. They can't fit it, in most driveways. So we started our own. And then, so our bag, it's the same size, but it's a blue bag instead of
how big is the bag?
It's like right at 3 yards.
Okay.
So
that's pretty big. 3 yards of
and
3 cubic yards.
It's real, just like a heavy duty bag, that won't rip. And
it's just like a little portable dumpster. But yeah, so theirs, by the time you pick up a bagster, you're going to Home Depot. So you've gone over there to pick it up. They're $35. And then when you fill it up, it's got to be curbside. And it's on average, like $220 if it's not overloaded to pick it up. And they charge you like almost $10 just to schedule the pickup. And they're like 5 days out. I was like, well, like we can be way quicker than that. And we can beat their price. Yeah. Like, so ours don't have to be curbside as long as we can park within 15 feet of it. We'll unload it by hand.
Get the gains in there.
And you can keep
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
I mean, like how heavy do these bags get though?
The limit's 3,500 pounds, but we can unload it by hand.
So it's something I could just
you just curl that, right?
Yeah. But my
leg press.
My roll-off trailer. Yeah, my roll-off trailer has a winch. So we can drop a bin and pull the bag into it. Or we can unload it by hand with the junk removal truck and you can keep the bag and use it again. So Waste Management, you can't do that because they've got the crane, they pick it up,
lift it all the way up and drop it.
One option.
What you're telling me is you offer a much better product.
Yep. Much better product, much better service. And it's
much
cheaper.
Better price.
Yep. And we ship ours. So you buy it online, you buy it on our website and we ship it straight to your house next day. So you don't have to leave. It comes straight to your house in a box. You unfold it, fill it up.
Sure.
Shoot me a text when you want
Amazon.
Yeah.
Come get it.
Wow.
Except for you got to put that bag inside of a box. Inside of another box.
Dang. Has that been a popular service for you guys?
It's just starting.
Okay.
So we've got a few, but I plan on taking over the market around here for that.
He aims to take over.
Yep.
I like it.
I like that.
And where do you plan on, going with it in the future? And sorry if I'm skipping ahead. If anybody else has questions, but like what's long term? Are you thinking about trying to franchise yourself or?
No, I want to keep it local, and I want to have 5 trucks that are servicing Houston to Galveston. That's our service area. Our main service area is just here, pretty much Pearland to Galveston.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this area. That's my community. I grew up down here. That's where I want to work. Like that's the people I want to service, but we do go into Houston.
That's your target.
Yep. A lot of the big franchises focus on Houston. Some of them won't even go to Galveston. Some of them won't go to Seabrook.
Lived in Galveston for a while, and it's hard to. Matter of fact, I've had dumpsters delivered in Galveston several years back before I knew about Coastal.
Yeah, of course.
And, it's a pain in the ass to even get somebody to even bring one down there, like much less get somebody to load it. You know what? I had better luck with a literal homeless guy that he needed some money, and he had I think he borrowed a truck or something like that, and he wanted all the scrap metal that was in bicycle rims and old washing machine and all kinds of different stuff in this garage that I was cleaning out at one of my properties. And I just kind of made a deal. I was like, hey, man, you can keep the money for all the scrap and I'll help you load it, but you got to take everything in there.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right. And he and I loaded that truck. He had stuff on top of it. F-150.
Yeah.
He had stuff on top of the truck with a rope tied. He was doing all kinds
I'm
of
just impressed that this dude had a truck. I mean, damn.
I think he borrowed it, if I remember right.
Wow.
He had a family. He had a family member or a friend or something. But yeah. So anyway, the point is, I got a homeless guy who was, I can't even remember his name. He was badass. I mean, that guy was getting it. Probably Roger. Yeah.
Roger. Fuck it.
But yeah, we loaded his truck up. And I was like, you can keep all the money for the scrap metal.
Yeah.
But you got to get rid of everything else too. And I'll help you load it. That's a pretty good deal.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, all right. And he got a lot of metal. I don't know how much money he made, but go Roger.
That's like 6 to 8 cents a pound right now, depending on where you go.
He had some poundage on there. That F-150 was squatting.
Yeah. Lowered.
Yeah. The money's in copper.
Copper's where it's at.
Dude, it's like $3 a pound or something. It's crazy.
Brass.
Yeah. Brass, I don't know about that. We don't really have too much brass.
Yeah,
ever.
brass is
there still a lot of money in like catalytic converters? Because I feel like people are still getting those popped off.
I don't know. I mean, you see it on the news. People stealing them.
Dude, we're at Twin Peaks last week. Not last week. It was like 2 weeks ago. Me and my brother were there, and we were just standing there. We're talking, and we see this lady walk out to like her Land Cruiser, real nice Toyota Land Cruiser. She starts it up, and that thing sounds like a muscle car. Like, I'm like, damn, that thing kind of sounds sick. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, all right, go. And I look back, and it's like this like older lady, and this guy walks up with his little shorts on. He's like, yeah, someone stole my wife's catalytic converter. And I'm like, people are still taking those. But yeah, I've heard that. Like,
what is it in them that's valuable?
It's precious metals.
Yeah, it's got
like
precious metals.
Platinum.
I don't know.
And
oh my goodness.
I think
precious.
copper. Yeah, it's like some type of. And I've heard that Toyotas have like higher concentrations of it, but it's to help with like emissions and filtering.
Right. Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know. I didn't know
platinum's one of them, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wild.
So what about the clothing brand? Where does it go? Do you want to keep growing it? Do you want to keep do you want to be do you want it to turn into something where you have like a design team and a big production, or do you want to keep it where you're drawing all your own stuff and you're basically touching every piece? How does that look to you?
So man, I have a vision for it. Like
guy has a vision.
I have a vision for it.
Now we're talking. That's what
his eyes light up.
I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
See his eyes light up? I asked the right question.
Yeah. So like I said, I live out in Santa Fe. I've got a little ranch. And so I have a little over a half an acre that is pretty much useless right now. The only thing I do is my goats eat on it. Mm-hmm. That's it, to keep the grass short. But man, like I walk out there every morning. So you come out of my house, turn left to go to the driveway, and then that plot of land is right there. Mm-hmm. And dude, I just vision a huge shop there that is just dedicated to Nahoa Threads. Just offices. I want people working. I want, inventory in there, huge shelves.
Right out of Santa Fe, Texas.
Yep. Right out of there.
A farm out back.
Yep.
I like that idea.
So that's my
What's
vision.
The building look like?
It's red.
So red.
I've got a red shop already.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I'll get into my house in a minute. Man, it's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want it to match. So the house is blue. I've got a red shop already, and I want that to be, because it would be next to it, but I want it to be like three times the size. I want it to be like a 6,000 square foot shop.
Hell yeah.
Huge.
Nice.
It's a pretty big facility.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that's what I want
for a clothing line. Yep. I mean, yeah, that's okay.
Yep.
So it's going to be red.
Yep.
All right. Is there going to be a sign?
Yep. A big old sign.
A big old sign.
Yep.
See there?
Do you need models? We can model for you, man.
I can tell,
for sure.
Daryl's got a haircut. I mean, look at that,
This is my new fucking haircut. I can model any shirt in this room. I can model any shirt you got. Dude. Give me one. I'll buy one. I'll model it.
Yeah, for sure.
But so, you know what I like about this, Jared, is I can tell that when I ask you these questions, you genuinely see it. Mm-hmm. You're like, yeah, I see this building will be here. And this, I already know what it looks like. That is, I think that's a very underlooked or
overlooked. Is that?
Or I'm sorry. Yeah. Or it's underutilized, overlooked. I'm not going to say,
skill.
That's not really, I don't want to say skill. because I don't know if like visualizing is a skill necessarily, but people not getting specific enough about what exactly it is that they want.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like your focus. So you say, okay, yeah, I want a clothing line in a shop, and that looks like this. But if you say, I want a clothing line with its own shop, and the shop is here and it looks exactly like this, and there's this many people, and this is the amount of revenue we're doing, then your focus goes in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Focus.
And
Starting to like manifest the whole thing.
Yeah. So it's like, it's less of a broad sweep, you know, and underutilized, overlooked, I guess skill or trade or tool.
Tool.
You know,
I think it's a tool.
What's been the most popular design that y'all have?
So this one sold like pretty quick. So we only did like 25 of these though. Okay. It was just like a limited run. Other than that, the Radical shirt.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's dark gray. Like I came up with, that was 100% mine. And it was so cool. That one sold, that one took off too.
Hell yeah.
So it's dark gray and then in hot pink says Radical.
Okay.
Pink's my favorite color.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which is weird for a lot of people. And they're like, yeah, that's strange.
Anything's wrong with that. I don't, man. I think that that's like something that's like dying off. It seems like more like guys are adopting like some of the lighter colors, like pinks, yellows, purples, and things like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, it's like you even have it on your hat now. It looks fun.
And my shoes.
And your shoes. Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh, dang. I didn't see that.
Did you used to
I'm a
skate
shoe
back
guy.
in the
I
day?
usually notice.
Yeah. Yeah. Where'd you used to skate at a lot, man?
I mean, I would just do it just around the neighborhood.
Gotcha.
And then I kind of switched into BMX when I got to Missouri because there was like nothing to do and there was like one bike park.
Hey, I know a guy that knows a little bit about BMX.
Yep.
Daryl used to be a BMXer, a little Dave Mira type action or what?
No, I was a
More
racer, not a freestyle, not like a.
Gotcha.
So that's different. When people say BMX, you got your freestyle, like your Dave Mira type guys. And then you have your racing, you know, your guys that race around a track.
Who's the badass in racing for BMX?
Daryl Laird.
So, dude, it's been many moons since I've been involved in that. But I mean, I could name the guys that were,
I guess big
20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think Dave Mira is big now, so I just like
there was some pretty renowned pros back then. A guy named John Purse, Gary Ellis. There was
okay.
These guys are probably 60 now, dude. They were grown men, expert or professional ABA BMX racers when I was like a little boy, and I'm 31. So these guys got it. I mean, they're probably like old, but anyway, they were. I'm trying to think of some more off the top of my head. Those are the two that come to my mind. But yeah, it was a big deal, man. I raced for a while. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
It's one of those what if things that I have in my life where I'm like, man, what if I'd have kept going?
The alternate reality.
They've got that track in Pearland.
Yeah,
they still do.
That one's been there forever.
Yeah.
Pearland, there used to be the one here off of 646 and 27 or 1266. There used to be one up off 290. There was several around here, and it kind of died out.
Yeah,
you know,
sport kind of died out a little bit, but
it sucks.
Yeah,
but you know, what do you do?
Do you plan on integrating any of that into the clothing line?
Yeah, so like I still
skating, stuff like that.
So like I ride with like Clutch City Cruisers out of Houston.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've heard of them.
So I've got like a freaking GT Performer.
Okay.
Old school, but it's a 26 inch.
I have a 24.
And it's white and pink. Like, it's freaking cool.
Okay.
And then,
it sounds pretty fresh.
Do you ever ride around here? I ride with some guys around here a little bit. I've never been to that one. I don't know, the big groups. It's real late. I wake up early, so man, I know they ride late at night. They ride real late though. I think they don't even start till like 9 or 10.
It starts at like 7. 7 is usually the meetup. Nobody rides out until around 7:30, 8.
Yeah,
and then, dude, I mean, we get done sometimes at like 1:30.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
and there's all kind of bikes out there.
Oh,
right?
dude, it's crazy. People have homemade freaking trikes. Speaker bikes.
Did you go to the Galveston ride?
No, I didn't.
I did that one this past year in 2022.
What bike did you take? Y'all's beach cruisers?
Yeah, I took my beach because it was me and my wife have beach cruisers that we bought when we lived down there, and we cruised them on the beach often.
Nice.
But anyway, we took them down there and rode them. So, Jared, I want to ask you a very specific question before we wrap this up. You're obviously a fit guy. You train?
I do.
How has that helped you in your life, in your business, in general? How has it been a positive impact on your fitness?
It's kind of just kept me, I guess it's like a,
obviously
discipline
lifting. Lifting heavy is good because you can pick up junk,
a fridge,
right? A fridge or whatever. But I like that word. Go ahead and elaborate a little bit.
It kind of keeps you on focus, like on target of what your plan is. But yeah, I do most of the time I work out at home, but then I work out twice a week or usually twice a week at Sanctuary in Friendswood.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if y'all know Jonathan.
Yeah, I know Jonathan.
Yeah. So me and him like grew up together.
Oh, wow.
And,
okay.
Man, he's just a good dude, man.
Yeah.
I love being around him. He's very,
I need to go check that place out.
Yeah.
And
The place is huge.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
It's a cool facility.
Yeah, it used to be Velocity.
Yeah. And
back in the day.
And then he moved from his 517 location over there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a cool deal. So basically what I'm hearing you say, Jared, is that whenever your fitness is on point, everything else, your life is on point.
I mean, I don't know the science behind that, but yeah. I mean, as far as like,
it's got to be a real thing.
In my head, that
There's
keeps
two things for sure.
Yeah.
That's a real thing, and dumping off of Toddville is the best place to do it.
But yeah, I love working out outdoors. So like I kind of touched on my house earlier. So like I just moved out to Santa Fe. I think it was like last year.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my wife been dating since high school. So I mean, we've been married for like 17 years, got 3 kids. But yeah, so her grandpa was a house builder. Her parents died when she was real young. So her grandparents raised her. So that was my in-laws. So her grandpa had built this house in the 90s out in Santa Fe, and he lived in Pearland. And
he built it for a client?
Yeah, he had built it for a client.
Okay.
Nice.
And then, so he had told the people when he built it, if y'all ever sell this house, I want it. Y'all let me know. So they had land and property out in Santa Fe that they were going to build on. Kind of around the same time that they were going to start building, he was looking at retiring. This dude called and was like, hey, we're going to sell the house. So they bought it. And that was like 2012. So they buy it from this guy that he had built it for. So the first time I had ever went out there, I just came back from Afghanistan. Like my my head was kind of just,
I can't imagine.
Stirred up.
Yeah.
And so man, like we go out there the first time and her grandma was like, man, you just seem at peace out here. Like crazy. And did I get in the car? I'm like, I'm going to live there one day. Like that's going to be my house.
Yeah.
And like they both got cancer and died, which sucks. But I hate to get emotional, man.
Nah, that's cool, man. Nah,
you are far from the first one.
Yeah.
Real men cry, man.
They wear pink and they cry. They don't dump their junk on Toddville.
Yeah, exactly.
3 things that men do or don't do. Whatever.
So like her grandma got cancer first, and then within a year, her grandpa got up, passed away. So we bought the house from the estate last year, and like, dude, like that's my place, man.
Forever.
I love forever.
That's going to be it forever.
That's just, I love it out there, man. It is so peaceful. And like,
I know
it's crazy.
There's some sadness to the story and there's some happiness to the story, but I am so happy for you and for your family because a lot of people never find that where they feel like where they're supposed to be. I don't think that, like, my house feels like a home to me, but I don't walk up to it and go, this brings me peace. This is where I'm going to be forever. And I don't think a lot of people will ever find that. Some do. But I'm happy that y'all have found that.
I appreciate it. But yeah, and, I mean, it was crazy.
I hope that everybody can find that.
Do you have a little place to work out there? Like a little gym type area?
Yeah. So like like her grandpa, man, he had just like done this place up, man. He was a big car guy. So he built this huge, like, I don't know, it's probably 1,800 square foot shop. Shop's almost the size of the house. Like it's a pretty small house. And so like, we didn't even have room because I got 3 kids. So we had to close off the garage of the house to make it a room. But so he had built like this freaking sick shop. There's a barn out there.
Half-acre lot for your t-shirt.
So it's like, it's a little,
he was thinking about it in the 90s.
Yeah.
Shop.
He built like, man, I always told my wife, like, he built this house for me. He just didn't know it.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
So it's a little over 5 acres total. We've got a pond, a big shop, and then the barn. We got chickens now. Goats, but yeah, man, dude, it was crazy. Like the first time we'd ever went out there, like her grandma was like super spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And she just like pulled me aside and was like, man, you just seem so at peace out here.
Did you feel it too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, and she could just sense it.
Yeah.
Some of that. It's a motherly or grandmotherly.
That's a grandma thing,
intuition.
Yeah. It was wild. But I told my wife that day, I'm like, we're going to live here.
Good for y'all, man. I'm so happy that y'all were able to buy it from the estate and
made it happen
and make it y'all's. And then
that's awesome.
Not only that, and the legacy goes on, right? He built it and then he bought it and then you bought it and it goes on, right? And I'm sure one or all of your kids will end up with it and so on and so forth.
Probably my youngest.
Yeah.
He is just adapted to the country life, man.
That's how he rolls.
Yeah.
I hope to, my wife and I talk a lot. We don't have any kids and we don't know if we will decide to have any, but I hope that if we do, we are in a situation where I feel like that is my home forever, like what you found. And 2, I hope that it's more rural and we can do stuff like raise chicken. I don't need like 700 acres, right?
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like 5 or 10 where I could maybe have a cow or 2, a handful of chickens, some goats, a garden like that's substantial enough to sustain a family, and just kind of, I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, full off grid satellite blockers and
no Wi-Fi.
A Connex box buried under the ground. Not like, that might be kind of cool too, but
always got to be ready, man.
I would like to be able to at least raise them in an environment where they can learn how to do those things. Because it could be valuable. I think, it's a dying thing. And for people, especially here in America, to know how to do all that stuff. And it's kind of cool. How old is your youngest?
He's 4.
He's 4 and he's
that
just,
dude's wild, man.
he just does he walk around in underwear and boots?
Yeah. Or barefoot. And that dude will take off. He'll start chasing the goats and stuff. Don't care. So we got 3 goats and like, I don't know. My wife keeps buying freaking chickens. So we got, I don't know, probably 2 million chickens.
About 2 million.
You have to keep buying them. Why can't you just hatch them?
I know. Well, we started.
Okay.
So we've got some of those too.
Yeah. Okay. There's a mixture.
It's wild. But I mean, it's cool because I always wanted to do that. Not yet.
You're going to have one.
That's the next thing.
That's cool.
You already know what it looks like?
Living
I already know where it's at, man.
I've started to get a little more into that self-sustainable type of stuff myself. Like my girlfriend's real into plants and stuff, and she wants to have like a little garden.
She a plant mom?
About to be. And for sure, I've actually just inquired on buying a cow for meat, to have nice grass fed, nice high quality meat. I'm going to look into chickens. And so just because, to be honest with you, it's more from a nutrition perspective for me. But then after I got more into it and started doing the research of, the way the cows are raised and the chickens are raised and just doing it properly and stuff like that, I'm like, man, this is the way it's supposed to be. Even if I don't do it myself, because to be honest, like I'm not really into that. But the thought of someone buying it
from somebody that is
correct. And it's really, to be honest with you, it's starting to kind of get to me a little bit. Like I feel this is the way that it should be. And I think I haven't, apparently right now it's a little bit in the off season. So the calves are growing right now. So it's gonna be a couple months, but I went ahead and purchased a pretty good, about a little over 30 pounds of beef from this local farmer the other day. And I just feel like this is the way that maybe it should be.
And so like growing up, I was all about the beach. And then it's like when we moved out there, that's kind of where like Nahoa kind of just came together, because like the theme of it is kind of coastal, kind of country.
Yeah.
So it kind of just blended.
I like that.
Kind of coastal, kind of country.
So
it sounds like it could be a song. Yeah.
But man, like I'm
calling up Morgan Wallen right now.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
He's listening to this on his notepad.
Yeah.
Kind of coastal, kind of country. It's like the seagulls.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
Man, like I love that place, man. Like it's just crazy.
That's cool.
Like,
well, man, I'm glad to hear that for you and your family, Jared. It's one of those things where, I think I'm at a point in life where I hear somebody either accomplish something really good or find something like what you found, like that's just really something they're passionate about or something that they love. I'm like, I feel grateful for it, right? I'm kind of at that. Because, whenever I was younger, it's not that I didn't feel anything about it all. Oh, okay, well, good for Jared. He's got a place that he likes. Cool. And go on. And now I'm like, now that I have a little bit better understanding of life. I don't really understand too much about it, but I've changed so much, especially over the past 5-10 years of my life. Definitely the past 5 to 6 years. And hearing stuff like that just really makes me happy. So
it's almost refreshing to know that people are actually living their life in this way.
I think
fulfilling things like this, because it just gets overlooked.
I see it all around me. You go online, and we're going to get down another rabbit hole here. We're going for an hour and 10 minutes so far. You go online and you watch the news, and you would think that everything is just pure chaos and everybody hates everybody and there's not good people and nobody's doing good things. And then you go out into the real world and you talk to people and you interact with people really in real life, and you realize most people are good and just trying to live their lives to and now there's some shitheads.
Oh yeah.
For
sure. Definitely.
There's always going to be some shitheads, but shitheads aside, the overwhelming majority of people are just good people trying to live their lives, trying to find something like what you found, a home and a lifestyle and a career that they love. And, and they're good and they hope that you find it too. Right. Yeah. And most, you don't see it. Like I said, you watch the news and you go online, it doesn't correlate. So it's definitely fabricated.
Oh yeah.
And like Phil said, it's refreshing daily, weekly to go out and interact with people like yourself, Sean, Phil, and many others that I know, people that I don't know that I interact with in public and go, man, it's just a regular guy or just a regular family. Yep. And just out here trying to make it. They don't hate anybody. They don't hate me. I don't hate them.
Yep.
They're not degenerates. I'm not a degenerate. You know what I'm saying?
They're just minding their own business.
Yeah. They're just living their life.
And living a great life at that. And what they consider great, not what someone else considers great.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you see, I think that's trending that way. I think we did get into a low spot over the past couple of years, especially with COVID and with the tension that they created with it, but I feel like we're trending back towards just the real American spirit,
real America.
Yeah. Real American spirit where everybody is American together, pursuing personal happiness, right? And life and liberty in the pursuit of happiness.
Yep.
And, I think we're moving back towards that. People are tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think most people were good anyway, but they try to make us think that are not good. Or you go online and you would soak up some negativity and you wouldn't think that. But it's refreshing. You're out here in the real world, real people doing real things. There will be a shop on that half acre.
Yep.
There's going to be a garden. Yeah, his son probably won't still be wearing shoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Barefoot in his underwear, just running around Santa Fe.
I love it.
But he fits in out there. So
There you go.
He's one of them.
Yep.
Y'all are the outsiders with all your clothes and your teeth.
Yep. People look at me like, flat-billed hat, pink shoes.
Yeah, this guy.
That dude's from Kima.
He doesn't even go here.
Yeah.
Must be from Pearland.
Why is he out here?
Yeah,
right.
But
so, Jared, before we close this thing out, where can the people find you if they need junk removed, if they need t-shirts, clothing, if they need somebody to talk to, if they want to find out how to donate to your is it not Wounded Warriors?
It's Irreverent Warriors.
So if they want to find out about that, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you? Where can they follow you? Plug it all right now.
All right. So for me, Instagram, I'm on Facebook, but Instagram's where I really focus. So that's Costal Junk Removal 1.
At Costal Junk Removal number 1.
Yep. And then at Nahoa Threads.
At Nahoa Threads, also on Instagram.
Yep.
And that's you personally operating these pages?
That's me personally operating them. Irreverent Warriors, they have their own stuff. We just kind of, we do
I know you don't own that, but I know you support them. And, and
so
maybe people listening would want to support them.
So they're Irreverent Warriors on Instagram and same thing on their website. And they're actually going to have a thing. They're doing a hike tomorrow in Galveston.
Good deal.
So if you see a bunch of freaking weirdos, that's us.
So is a DM? Do you prefer a DM, an email,
DM,
a text message?
Or you can text me at 281-789-0188.
Y'all got the number, folks. Gonna have to rewind. You're gonna have to rewind it and get a hold of my guy Jared over here. Well, we're gonna close this thing out, y'all. Any closing remarks? I feel like the show went all over the place, and I like that it did.
I'm everywhere, man. My brain is everywhere. But thank y'all so much for letting me come on.
Yeah, no worries.
We appreciate you, man.
It's our pleasure to get people on here to tell their story and to just we like to have good conversations. That's what this is rooted in.
Yep.
Phil and I would get together on usually a weekly basis and have deep conversations, just me and him in the gym. And we gotta start recording this and talking about it. And then, we gotta start talking. There's other people that could have these conversations with us. Yeah. And, this is what it's kind of bloomed into. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you back on. Maybe we can do a April 18th, 2024 for his 2 years first. Well, you were in business before that, but 2 years where you went full committed,
full sin.
Get you back on here. Yeah. We'll talk about all 6 of your trucks that you have on the road, your 1,500 employees, and your mansion that you built where that shop was going to go. All right. Anything else, guys? Sean, you good?
Man, I don't really have anything else. I just appreciate you being on the show, man. For sure.
Appreciate it.
Papa Phil.
No, man, that's it. I really enjoyed it. I think it was, it's good stuff. And I just wanted to, the last thing I'm going to say is I think that the entrepreneurial journey is constantly trying to take all those ideas you have and keep them under control and filter them into the correct energy that propels us forward.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
Zero in on the goal. Be specific.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
What you're saying. Yeah, guys. So listen. Don't dump your trash on Toddville.
Yep.
Okay. Call Jared. All right. You got his phone number. You got his Instagram. Call Jared. Don't buy us. Can I say the word Nike on here? Don't buy other brands. Buy his shirts. Okay. That's the rules. You can even buy an OTG shirt.
Yep.
But one. So don't dump your trash on Toddville. Buy your apparel from Jared. And, just be very specific in pursuing your dreams.
Yep.
Figure what exactly does it look like in your brain and laser that focus, that vision and that focus in on that. And guys, I've been awake for like 30 hours. So I think I'm going to close this out and maybe we're going to go home and go to bed.
Probably, man.
I figured we could hit some legs. What do you think?
This guy's got legs for arms. Those things are large.
Dude, when you said Toddville, I was like, that's kind of crazy because I feel like that's a little bit of an uppity area. Yeah, it's like super uppity and like super nice homes over there, like multi-million-dollar homes.
But people still
dump over there.
People still dump over there.
Couches, mattresses.
Wow,
that's tripped out.
That is crazy.
My guy's just trying to take his kids to the park.
Yep.
Good old Seabrook, man.
If you're one of those people dumping on Toddville, we're not cool.
Yeah, I don't think if they're dumping on Toddville, they're not listening to this show.
Meet me in the squat rack.
All right. All right, we're out.
See y'all.